A giant mysterious figure with glowing red eyes, an omen of disaster, and an infamous creature of the night all describe West Virginia's Mothman. This iconic figure hails from Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and its most known sighting is the 1967 Silver Bridge collapse. However, the Mothman legend goes back even further.
The Mothman.
As Mothman.
The Mothman.
The Mothman.
The Mothman. The most famous flying cryptid of all time. Mothman.
The Mothman was first sighted on November 15th, 1966, by two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Mallet, who claimed they saw a large gray creature with glowing red eyes following their car outside a former World War II munitions plant. Linda Scarberry claimed that the creature was a slender, muscular man who stood at about 7 feet tall, with white wings. She also said she was unable to discern its face due to the hypnotic effect of its glowing red eyes. This was not just a sighting of the creature either. When the couple saw the creature, they drove away in distress. And not only did the creature follow them, but it continuously screeched while doing so, and it chased the couple's car all the way to Point Pleasant city limits. Over the next few days, other people in Point Pleasant reported similar sightings.
Marcella Bennett is carrying her infant child. Her brother notices some kind of strange light up in the sky. He's trying to get her attention. But all of a sudden, she said this thing rose up from the ground, and it was apparently the Mothman, this man-like creature with wings. She actually fell. She fell on her child. Child was okay, just kind of stunned, and she picked her up, and they ran to the house. They were able to get in the house. Somebody was there, and they locked themselves in. And according to their testimony, and I've seen long-form interviews with this lady, this thing walked back and forth across the porch a couple times. Of course, by the time the police got there, it was gone. But this lady was very credible, and it affected her for years later. She wouldn't drive at night. The people were really touched by this.
Two volunteer firemen and a contractor spoke of a large bird-like creature with red eyes. People began theorizing that the Mothman was an unusually large heron or a sandhill crane. However, this did not stop the Mothman legend from spreading. John Keel, a ufologist and American journalist, wrote a book published in 1975 titled The Mothman Prophecies. Keel's book detailed his investigation into the 60s sightings and connected the Mothman to UFOs and other supernatural phenomena. This book ultimately connected the Mothman to the Silver Bridge collapse. In 2002, a movie by the same name was released. On December 15th, 1967, the Silver Bridge connecting Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and Gallipolis, Ohio, collapsed, killing 46 people. Official investigations in 1971 determined it was caused by stress corrosion, cracking in an eye bar in a suspension chain. A large painted memorial and several plaques were made in honor of the 46 victims. There's now a museum dedicated to the story and the history of the legend of the Mothman. This museum serves as a historical record. It holds countless articles about the Mothman sightings and the Silver Bridge collapse. It even has accounts from the few survivors of the collapse.
I met Bill Edmondson. He was a truck driver that was crossing the bridge at the time, and he told us about how he survived. The bridge just started to start to waver back and forth. It tilted all the way to his right. He had to hold on to the steering wheel to stay in place. Everything gave loose. He was forced through the passenger window, right arm first, so his right arm became useless. Fortunately, he got out. The currents pulled him up. He was able to grab onto some of the material that he had been hauling in the truck. And moments later, a tugboat captain pulled him out of the river, moments before he would have died of hypothermia.
Fallout 76 memorabilia and merchandise can also be found at this museum.
If people go through here, you'll see all the history, the folklore. There's one full wall of of memorabilia from the film, The Mothman Prophecies. If you're interested in this kind of thing, even if you look at it as purely folklore, it's just a fascinating place to come.
Just outside the museum is a large statue of the Mothman, an extremely popular photo op for visitors to Point Pleasant. So popular, in fact, The official Mothman Museum website has a 24-hour live stream pointed at the statue. The Mothman Festival started in 2002. It takes place every third weekend in September, and the festival has since grown into an annual event that thousands of people can attend. People from all over the country, and even all over the world, attend the festival to celebrate the Mothman. Attendees show up in cosplays, dressed up as the Mothman, and even bring baked beans as an offering to the statue. During the festival, there are lines of people that expand the streets of Point Pleasance, whether this be to enter the museum or to take a photo with the front or even behind of the statue. The festival even has vendors selling their own merchandise of Mothman and other cryptids. They also have professional paranormal guest speakers, live music, a giant Ghostbuster cosplay display, bus tours, and a hayride.
The festival, the museum, it has just completely changed the face of this town and this county.
The Mothman is Point Pleasant's main attraction. People come to the town from states away just to spend a day at the museum. Local restaurants even offer Mothman-themed food items. The Mothman is so much more than a cryptid or a local legend. He's an icon in pop culture and a very important part of West Virginia history.